Hello everyone, this is Chidi from UrBizEdge speaking. So here today, I'm going to show you how to generate this very simple trading strategy, only using functions alone. We're not going to be using any VBA or macro code in order to do this. So there's no need to learn any very difficult coding to generate self-updating averages based on this data set, a look back period, and using the last price to generate your signals. Now the great thing about this is that it's self-updating, so the use of VBA or macro is not needed here. So you don't need to learn any difficult VBA code in order to generate signals that will update with any new entry that goes in to your data set. So let's say I want to change all these moving averages by a lot, and I want to add in this new data here. What will happen to all our values? It changed with the new data that's been entered, and so has the last price as well. No use of VBA or functions in order to do this, and that's the real use of it now. So right now I'm going to go through step by step how these functions work very quickly, so you can go ahead and replicate this or use it for whatever project you want to look at next. So here we go. We're going to go on to our next sheet and explain everything step by step. So first, to generate the last price, what we need to start off with is a function known as COUNTA. So we're going to use COUNTA to count all the cells that are filled with values in the first column. So coincidentally, all the cells that are filled with values are inside our data set with no blank rows or anything extra added. So coincidentally, it will also be our last row as well. So if it counts 251 rows in column A, that's also our last row too. And now we're going to use index, collect our array right here. That's the only thing we need for this index function in order to create our reference. So we have our last row, our column here, and now index will turn that into a reference, and that reference will be the final date in this column A. So giving you a quick example, we're going to go to A251 because that's our reference, and that will be our last date. And now we want to offset this by 1. You get me? So we want to go 1 to the right to collect our last price. So we're going to use this offset function in order to do so. So this offset function works by offsetting our reference right here, which we collected, by 0 rows. So we don't want to offset our reference by any rows, but we want to move it 1 column to the right. So that's why we put +1 there. And if you want to move it back, you simply go -1, but we want to move it forward 1 step to the right. So we don't want to go up or down, we just want to go 1 step to the right, and that will give us a value of $208.31, and that's our last price in that data set. Now we want to look for our last row. That's simply collecting our reference here that we just collected earlier with the index and everything, and using our row function to collect the row of that reference. Now we're going to need to also collect the row of our look back period, and we use that by simply getting the row of our last entry and taking it away from the value we have as our look back period. So H5, this is actually referencing this right here, our 50-day moving average right here. That's what this is being calculated on. So, you know, our 50 our 50 numerical values here, and we're going to take it away from 1. Now you might ask, why do we want to take it away from 1? Calculate our look back period based on rows. It's always smart to take away 1 from it. The maths just works better. Maybe I should give a quick example of that using indirect. So what this indirect function basically does is that it helps us create a cell address. Now a cell address is A1, A2, A3, A4. And how does it do it? It does this by aggregating a string value with a cell value or a function in order to create a cell address. Now indirect is a very powerful function to be able to do this. So once we have indirect here, we want to aggregate the string A and the final row in order to create A21. And we're going to repeat it again for our look back period here. So that's our indirect. Now let me just take this away because that's actually included later in our offset. So we're still looking at the date column. If we want to create an array, because we just got this array right now, and we want to offset it to 1 to the right in order to get our array of closing prices to further calculate our average or whatever function you want to do, whether it be average, whether it be sum, whether it be product. So we want to first create an array of the closing prices. And we do that by using offset, which we used earlier before. Now we want to offset this array by 0 and 1. So 0 columns and 1 to the right in order to get our closing values. So giving just a quick example of this. So this is all the dates right here. Just like that. So these are all the dates of the last 50 days. And you can tell that the count is at 50 because we took away 1 from it. So it just makes the count of all our cells just a little bit more accurate. Now we want to offset this by 0 rows and 1 column to the right, please. Now we're just going to change this format to number, and now we have all the closing prices for the last 50 periods. And then we simply use another function to calculate whatever we want to calculate. So we're going to calculate the average right there, and the average is seen right here. So that's that done. And you can also use it to calculate the geometric mean, the harmonic mean, so on, so forth. Whatever you want to calculate, what other function you want to use, just input it right there. Now, in order to create our buy or sell signals, all we simply use is this if statement right here. So we're just going to go to our example. If the closing price here is greater than our mean, please input the string buy. However, if the closing price is less than our mean, please give us sell. Else, if both of this is not the case, if both of this is equal to one another, please give us no signal. And that's how we do that. And if you want to make it green or red, we can simply go to conditional formatting. I've already created my rule, but you can see it here. If you wanted to create a new rule, all you have to do is go to format only cells that contain specific text containing by, okay, duplicate it, and also choose your color as well. And that's that done. Once you do it, do not forget to click apply. So let's say I wanted to edit this. Okay, apply, and you're done. So that's pretty much everything for today. So thank you so much for staying with us. This is Chidi from UrBizEdge. Have a great day.